Would you climb a ladder into a dark attic knowing that what could be waiting for you is the Indonesian fruit bat?
You're spending 5 minutes with a missionary. This podcast is a window into missionary life. It's fun, it's personal, it's real, and it's always an adventure. During Season 3, LCMS missionaries around the globe talk about encounters with critters and local wildlife. And I just want to say, no, I absolutely would not climb a ladder if there was an Indonesian fruit bat at the top. But today, we'll hear from Pastor Matt Wood. Last season, we heard from his wife, Callie. Pastor Wood works with the Gereja Kristen Luther Indonesia, one of the Lutheran church bodies in Indonesia. He works with them to provide continuing education for pastors and congregational leaders.
Indonesia is in the tropics, right on the equator, and you would think that there are a lot of critters. And I'm sure there are, but we live in a city of 4 million people. It's a big city, and the critters there have become very adept at keeping out of sight, out of the way of the humans. You do get your big city critters. The rats are about the size of a Midwestern gray squirrel. There's a lot of stray cats. The stray cats have a genetic mutation. Their tails are short and crooked. And they're bold. They come into our house all the time and try and grab fish bones and chicken bones out of our garbage. I've seen them on our dining room table, licking our plates clean if we don't clean up after ourselves quickly enough. But the most intimate connection we have had with critters over the years is the ones that live in our attic. There are a lot, and I'm sure there are varied creatures who live in our attic. I hear cats knocking around bits of wall or whatever's up there, and occasionally I will hear a loud thud followed by some sort of a scraping, crawling sound with a little bit of kind of a chirping. Now a brave man would go check and see what's going on in his attic. But this man Googled what could be up there, and I came across the Indonesian fruit bat. And I invite you to go ahead and do that Google search yourself and ask yourself the question, would you climb a ladder into a dark attic knowing that what could be waiting for you is the Indonesian fruit bat? Well, I haven't had the courage yet, but one day the attic came down to me. I was studying in my office about 7 in the morning, working on language class homework, and I heard the usual sounds, a little louder than normal. A pair of animals was running around up there, and I didn't think much of it until the ceiling came crashing down on me. The animals fell through the ceiling about not right on my head, although some of the ceiling fell on me, but the animals fell about 2 feet away from me. And I looked down, and they look like raccoons, skinny raccoons. Later found out they're called musong. Now, being from the Midwest and seeing what looked to me like raccoons, I figured the best thing to do would be run. So I got out of the room pretty quickly, and I texted my landlord. I told him intruders had come into the house, and I forgot that his English is quite good, but not good enough to pick up on the metaphor of intruders. He thought someone had literally broken into the house, and he rushed over as fast as he could, wearing just shorts and a t-shirt. And in that culture, shorts, you don't really go out in public in shorts. So he really rushed to the house and out of breath, and I explained to him what was going on. And he said, "Oh, musong?" So we venture up to the office and realize now we have to find the musong. Where did these musong go? We're looking under the desk, behind bookshelves. where could they possibly have gone? I know I shut the door. I think I shut the door. I hope I shut the door. We found them behind a big wardrobe. The wardrobe was about 6 inches off the wall. And there they were, sleeping away already. And so my landlord and I are trying to figure out how to get these musong out of there. And we can't quite reach them with a broom handle. We're trying to spray them with water. They aren't responding. We decided maybe if we barked like dogs, we could startle them and get them to run away. Nothing was working. So finally, we do our best to just get this wardrobe 6 more inches away from the wall so we can scoot on back there. And we got the musong with a broom, and it turns out that these are the most docile creatures you'd ever seen, because they basically just rode the broom out of my office. I just swept them out of my office. They didn't show their teeth. They didn't growl or bark. They clearly just wanted to be asleep, and they were annoyed but resigned to the fact that they were being removed from the office. And we got them out, and I haven't seen them again. But now there's a big hole in my ceiling, and I know that these are not the only critters up there. And so I beg my landlord, get this ceiling fixed as soon as you can. I don't want more critters coming down from the attic into the house. And he did. He got it fixed by the time we were back from language classes that day. So all is well and good at the home. The relatively easy experience with the musong has not quite given me the courage and confidence to confront an Indonesian fruit bat. So I'm happy that the ceiling is fixed, and I pray that the attic holds fast and the creatures stay in the attic and no longer invade our home. I love God's creation and God's critters. And I also love my home completely free from them.
Thanks for spending 5 minutes with a missionary. To learn more about Matt and Callie, go to lcms.org/wood. You can also sign up for their newsletter using the link in the show notes. You can find this podcast on kfuo.org/missionary podcast or anywhere you get your podcasts. Have you ever thought of serving as a missionary? Reach out to mission.recruitment@lcms.org to learn more.